Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we will be reviewing the Jon Carter action figures.
That's right. Back in 1995, long before the Disney movie, Trendmaster came out with a line of Tarzan and Jon Carter and the I want to say Pellucidar, but that's not what they called it. Journey to the Center of the Earth or something like that. It's right.
It says Earth Core series.
Yeah, Earth Core. There you go. I knew it was something like that. They basically meant the Pellucidar, the Journey to the Center of the Earth. You know, the movie that came out in the 70s. This line of action figures, it was pretty big, and there was also some other.
Because the Jon Carter one is just called Mars, and the Tarzan one is just called Jungle.
Yeah.
So.
They also had these little sort of clamshell sort of play sets that are about as big as my hand would encompass, and they would open up, and you had these really tiny little army men style, almost 20 millimeter little figurines that you would play around in the play sets, clamp it shut, take it with you kind of thing. And they also had two vehicles for this line that I've never seen, in all my years of looking at Jon Carter stuff on eBay and various places. These figures, they're really more like just statues with 0 to 3 points of articulation.
I mean, for example, not including these ones, which are
actually Bendham's. Yeah, we'll
I
get
don't
into
know. Yeah, but they're not as. I mean, nothing will reach the point of Micronauts. Those are just. They're the best you can ever get, but they're not as bad as modern ones because this is the best one. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and at the worst, I believe is
0. This is just a statuette, but they put it in a package of action figures. As this one, I think, is 1 point of articulation. That's the head. Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is the worst one. Because it's just this.
Yeah, well, no, I mean...
Okay, this is the worst one because it's 0. But this is what you would expect from a modern-day action figure. You have one arm, a second arm, and a little bit of the head.
Well, yeah, and modern ones usually have the leg articulation. Sometimes knees, but...
No, modern ones just have the arms, but the arms are attached to the same axle, so they just move the same way at the same time.
Yeah, I think he's thinking dollar store action figures.
I'm not. Dollar store action figures are better than that because the two arms move separately.
And this particular Martian is kind of cool, but the scale's wrong except for this one. But this one actually goes with this size, this set, and if the battery was still working in this one, it actually had some sort of.
I don't think the battery ever worked when we had it.
Well, no. But it had
because I would have remembered that.
It made some sort of noises, and I'm going to get into that in just a minute. But for Jon Carter toys, if you will, or things that you could put on your desk and stand up, they don't even really stand up. Okay, that one does. Tarzan, no. Martian guy. Yeah, I suppose it could be the table that's causing.
It's most likely the table, considering this is what we're using.
Yeah.
And some of these are wet, so they're
bumpy and stuff like that. But for considering what Disney could have done, all they had to do was improve on this line.
Which isn't that difficult to do, considering
Yeah, and like I said earlier, there were also some Bendhams. This is one of them. If you don't know what a Bendham is, it's a wire skeleton inside, covered by a rubber coating that you can, bend them any old way. And, back in the early 70s, these were kind of, sort of the cheaper way to make an action figure. But I know...
They're very rare.
Yeah.
Unfortunately... I hadn't even heard of them until 5 minutes ago.
Little kids, really little kids, would get a hold of these and chew on them, and then, chew through the arm, and then they're sucking on a piece of wire. So I think that's why they stopped making them. But, for just having something to, to show your co-office workers that, yeah, I'm a Jon Carter nerd, these would be great. We also have a few of them still sealed in the package, and they came in either single action figures like this one, which is also another Bendham, and a little goofy little badge. I can't imagine any kid walking around with that, just asking to get beat up. Shirt. Yeah. But, as a display, collector's piece. Having them in the 2-packs was really nice. Unfortunately, the packages don't stand up very well. But being a Jon Carter fan, I have to pick up everything I can get my hands on, just because that's the way us collectors are. We grab everything we can. If I could find beach towels and coffee cups and stuff like that, I'd probably have them too. Now these are where the line really shine. Not only are they larger figures, more articulation, a lot of chrome, gold, colored, removable armor pieces, but they also had. I know this one doesn't work anymore, and that one did for like one really weak Tarzan. Yeah, let's see if we can get this one to do it again. If you move the chest piece in a weird circular motion, which is really kind of creepy.
Yeah.
He gave out his last Tarzan yell about an hour ago. I didn't even know that there was any juice left in it. But check this out. I'm going to read off the back a little bit of info that's going to make you guys giggle a little. At least it made me giggle. They came with a power disc. I don't know if you can see. There's a computer disc from the old days. Not quite a floppy, but the hard discs. And in order to use that with the action figure, I don't know what it ever did, but you needed a running MS Windows 3.1 or better. A 386 or faster CPU, excuse me, at least 4 meg of RAM, 1.5 meg hard drive space.
How much RAM does it take for a Minecraft server?
Monitor set to 256 colors.
What?
13-inch monitor or larger, 640 by 480 pixels. A machine with a 3.5 disk drive, a sound card for impact audio, and a standard mouse.
Well, let's go over that.
I don't even know what to say to that. It just that's like a video game back in the day,
I mean, yeah.
Doom or something like that, way back, 1995. But that must have been one heck of an experience doing all that just to help play with your action figure. I can't even imagine what your parents are, letting you have access to the computer while you're playing with your Tarzan. I can't even imagine if anybody out there actually knows what happened when you did all that.
Does it still work?
Well, if you had a computer that worked, I'm sure the disc would be just fine.
If the disc still works, I think we can technically do that.
Yeah, bonus power disc computer adventure.
So it's just a game.
I guess. I'm gonna have to look that up.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll come back to that.
I mean, it's a weird set of requirements, but
it's pretty.
If it works, that might be.
Maybe
nice.
it's an actual game or something.
That's what I'm assuming.
Maybe it's a side scroller or something. That's all I can think.
That's what they most likely would be. I mean, I couldn't see much else.
But
my favorite game is a side scroller. So.
Yeah. But I picked these up more than the $9.99 at the time, and I didn't even try the. I wasn't going to open them. I still won't open them. But someday out there, someone's going to pay the little guy $100 to take them off his hands because for whatever reason, just to complete their great grandfather's collection or something.
Yeah.
But.
Do you have the monkey?
No, I didn't get Kerchak. There's quite a few that I never picked up. Not really that many, but the lion, the other Tarzan. But it was a neat little reminder that Jon Carter and Tarzan and all of the Edgar Rice Burroughs creations, that started from 1912 on, were very, very popular enough for this company to go out and spend multi-millions of dollars on an action figure line during a time when There was no hint of a John Carter movie. That wouldn't come along for another, 17 years.
And when it did, it was borderline sabotaged.
Yeah, and Disney didn't have the wherewithal to come up with a single action figure. There was one action figure made for the movie, but it's like $150 brand new action figure that's super highly detailed.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was made by some company I can't even remember. Just because it's really well done, but when it first came out brand new, it was $150. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me! I'll just wait 12 years and I'll pick it up for 25 or something.
Now it's 1,000.
No, it's still about $1.75 or so. It's they didn't make a lot of them, but this is just proof that John Carter has been around for a long time. It's gonna continue to be around for a long time, and I just shake my head thinking of the multi-millions of dollars they could have made. Can you imagine a white ape action figure toy about this big to go with your action figures?
I mean, that isn't that difficult to make.
No, but I mean, if they'd made like a 6 or 5 or whatever inch line of John Carter figures, and then made the giant white ape, and then the big old lizards, it would have been about this big, and the airships they could have made. There were 2 other toys that I'm pretty sure did actually come out for the John Carter movie, and that were the swords. I saw 2 swords one time from the movie, John Carter's sword and I think Tarj Tarkas's sword. I don't think they lit up or did anything special like that.
Well, they wouldn't really light up.
Right. But they were just, plastic swords, said John Carter of Mars, and had the new logo on it for the new, movie. And that was all I've ever seen. And I look probably once a week on eBay just to see if anything new comes up. I get daily, John Carter, emails from eBay, but they're usually...
I mean, I suppose if someone has them and they're rare, then they wouldn't want to sell them.
Right.
However, if you looked it on Google, you'd be able to find that they existed.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. And
I don't think anything like that exists. I mean, if there is, tell us, but
yeah,
I don't think there is.
Because, I'd put a little money away and eventually pick up, whatever that collection was, just to, have it and be inspired by it. I'm not going to sit here and play with them on my table when you guys aren't looking. I just have a appreciation for all the things, and vicariously I can imagine kids out there, younger than my son here, and getting being a parent and involving the kids with here, got you some toys. They go off and play, and then as they grow up, they're like, oh, now I want to read the books. And the same thing happened with him. These were all his to play with when he was about 3 years old, and he's kept them intact.
Which I'm surprised, considering not only my track record, but the track record of your average unintelligent infant.
Yeah, and all the little accessories that came with them, they're in another box somewhere else. I just didn't want to bring them out. They're no big deal.
Also, I don't think I had access to those.
You did, but I was very careful to not let you have access to them until I knew you weren't going to choke on them.
Yeah.
And there was no big deal because he had hundreds of other swords and guns and stuff from his other action figures, and it's just such a shame that a whole generation or more never got the opportunity as kids to play with anything John Carter. They had to wait until they were 10, 12, 14 years old to read the books or to see the movie, and that's all they get. And for a 10-book series that is going on 110 years old and still loved by millions, and comic books that have come out semi-recently, especially after the movie. There was just so much to enjoy about it, and the biggest purveyor of joy to little children completely denied that to them, and it's really sad. But hopefully you guys out there that are fans and have kids on the way, or about to have kids on the way, or maybe have them in the future, and you want to get them into this early, this is what I would get them. They're still really cheap in comparison to
other action figures.
Yeah. Like if you were to buy your kid a GI Joe right now or a Star Wars action figure, they're $15 at Walmart, Target, etc. But you can go online right now. I checked, and some of these still carded, brand new figures. I don't know about the bigger ones.
The bigger ones are probably more expensive.
If you could find them, yeah.
Some of them do come with a game, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. But you can get them for $14.99 on eBay right now. Some of the 2-packs, not just individual packs, but I saw some for $14, $15 plus shipping. Maybe you find some other stuff at the seller's store, make it worth your while. But if you've got kids and you want them to follow in your footsteps, this is what I would recommend. Or if you're just like Jon Carter and you want them, on your desk at your office or what have you, our little trip down memory lane and action figure lore. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't take it too seriously because we certainly didn't.
We certainly did not.
You should have seen us before the show.
Oh.
But until next time, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
And that...
Do I need to break out your microphone?
I don't have it.
Yeah, I know.
And that has been the... I can't. Good night, everyone. That's been the Shadow and Sun Show, and have a great night.
Bye, everybody.